the CHL News, here is Alex Furco.
I'm not going to keep this hat on for long because it won't fit my headphones. My arms are already getting tired.
Merrick Robinson.
She answered the question. She said no, so then I went, okay.
And Phil Tremblay.
Nebraska could disappear off the face of the earth, and it would not affect me any.
Grab a seat because the show starts right now.
All right, I've got a zinger to start off the show here.
Let's hear it.
What's the difference between the Coast to Coast Crew and the Seattle Kraken, Minnesota Wild, Columbus Blue Jackets, Arizona/Utah hockey team, and the Toronto Maple Leafs?
We don't play in the NHL.
Well, yeah, but the Coast to Coast Crew has made an appearance in June.
Wow.
Boom, zinger.
Wow.
I was thinking of that one all night.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh, we got shows in June now. And you know who hasn't played in June? All these people. So welcome to another episode of the Coast to Coast podcast. It is a beautiful sunny day outside. For once, we finally get one of those. It's not pouring rain on one of our show days.
It's been gorgeous past couple of days.
It's been very nice. It's been very nice.
I feel like we're going to jinx it, though.
Oh, probably. It's Calgary weather.
Yeah. Aiden's going to be making me laugh. This episode of the show, we also have IFBs, so we can hear what Aiden Johnner is telling us to do.
Which will
up
be
in the box. He's going to try and make us laugh, and it's going to be bad.
Which will be incredibly useful for when we have the Aiden Hides the Hockey Questions segment coming up later in the show. But aside from that, we're going to talk about the Stanley Cup Finals. Joe Pavelski, maybe not retiring, maybe he not, maybe he is, maybe he won't. It could happen, but it might not.
But it might happen.
Deep cut.
But it might happen.
Aiden has a hockey question. The Memorial Cup, since I did such a disastrous job that on the last show with Clayton Yates, shout out Clayton for coming back on. And we have a little dogs thing to finish off the show with. But let's start.
So excited for the dogs.
Let's start with the Stanley Cup Final.
Edmonton Oilers.
So Game 6 between Edmonton and Dallas was being played during the last show.
I do not think it was a barn burner.
In the last couple minutes, it was.
Burner. I was watching it. I was at work. We were slammed. I thought it was a barn burner. I thought it was very exciting.
Aiden was invested.
Let's go.
Aiden was invested.
Let's go.
It was weird because he was stressing out a bit watching the game.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Who was he cheering for?
He wasn't really cheering for anyone. He was just kind of swept up in the moment of. He realized the pressure of the game
for Canada,
and Dallas was real close to tying it up.
I mean, 10 shots from Edmonton and winning 2-1.
Oh my! And I said during the show that I hadn't watched any of it yet because I was driving up from work to the show, so I couldn't watch any of the game.
Yeah. And
I said it was a bad game for Ottinger, but in fairness, that McDavid goal, what do you expect him to do?
That was disgusting. He just walked around.
Absolutely insane.
Just cooked Heiskanen, and Heiskanen's on his offside.
So when we were saying that we wanted to see McDavid do McDavid things, that's what I meant.
Yeah, turn people inside out.
When I said if McDavid wants to lead his Edmonton Oilers to the next round, he needs to do McDavid things. That is exactly the kind of thing that I meant by that. And we saw it, and Edmonton Oilers go on to the next round. One of the big topics we wanted to touch on this one was goaltending. And
yes.
we said that Skinner would probably end up being the downfall of the Edmonton Oilers. Turns out, again, you look at 10 shots on goal for the Edmonton Oilers and a 2-1 victory. Turns out it's Ottinger that's the downfall of the Dallas Stars.
Yeah.
Not completely, but yeah.
And it's such a shame because, we had that, I had that part a couple weeks ago where Aiden zoomed in real close on my face, and I said Skinner's not good. And if given the choice between Skinner and Ottinger, I would always go with Ottinger. So I kind of have to eat a little bit of crow on that, I guess.
Especially when you look at the numbers for Skinner on that one, like 33 out of 34, .971 save percentage to Ottinger's .8.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Those teams also stopped generating a lot of offense near the end of the series after Game 3. That was because that was the last time Dallas won. Was Game 3.
Yeah.
So no, it was good. It was a very good game by Edmonton. Obviously, then not a lot of shots, but you played like you did, like they played like the old USSR team. They don't shoot often, but when they shoot, they score. Ironically, all the shots came from, I think, 5 players total. So you have Hyman with 3. Holloway, McLeod, Perry, all with 1, and then McDavid had 2. And then Bouchard had 1. Those are all the shots in the game for Edmonton.
Craziness, and obviously they take the win. So we have our Stanley Cup Finals set at Edmonton Oilers versus the Florida Pants.
Condolences go out to
Casey Freeman.
Also,
I'm sure she was very upset. That's 2 disappointing series in a row for her.
Just recapping some of the Oilers stuff. Their power play finally clicked.
2 for 2.
Yeah, and
2 for 2 in the last
game
game.
before as well.
I thought Edmonton's power play was pretty crazy.
They didn't score
whole...
up until like the last few games in that series.
Oh,
yeah.
Just in that series, but like the other rounds they did pretty good.
Oh yeah,
I thought.
Yep.
It's Dallas had an answer, and then when they didn't have an answer,
Yeah.
Edmonton just shoved that power play down their throats.
Because when we were going into this series, that's another thing that we said was going to maybe swing it in Edmonton's favor a little bit, was their power play was pretty lethal. And then we saw, Dallas shut it down the first couple times, but finally caught up to them. So Edmonton Oilers, Florida Panthers.
Game 1 Saturday.
Game 1 on Saturday. I'm so excited to have a Canadian team in the final again. I remember how excited I got for Braden's team, Montreal, when they were in the finals, even though I was a bit of a Vegas fan back then too. So
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
it is disgusting.
Where do we want to start
I'm
with?
ashamed.
Where do we want to start with the the Cup final?
I don't even
preview?
know. I don't even know where to start. Like I think
Before preview, I think we should take a look at how they got there.
Sure. Yeah.
You had the Florida Panthers defeat the Tampa Bay Lightning in, I believe, 5 games, and then go into round 2 and a repeat of last year's first round. Florida defeating Boston in 6, and then what many people think it was an upset was the Florida 4-2 series win against the Rangers.
I definitely think that was an upset.
Stunning that team and putting a lot of red flags in that Rangers organization recently.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can only feel for Igor Shesterkin.
He was playing so good the entire playoffs.
Outstanding
I can't
goal
believe
attending.
that. Yeah, I thought he was gonna single-handedly carry him, but then they lost. Just so many of their top guys just disappeared. But looking at Edmonton's path, they basically had a bye in the first round with the Los Angeles Kings, and then Vancouver, who I thought was a pretty tough matchup. I mean, it obviously was. It went to 7.
Yeah.
And then Dallas, who I thought was going to be an even tougher matchup. I don't know what to say about the Stanley Cup final. It's so tough because everything I said for both the last 2 rounds was completely wrong. I was just so wrong in so many ways.
I was wrong. I was wrong every step of the way.
He was wrong when he pressed Vegas to go to the finals.
I got 7 of 8 rounds right in the first round. I had Vegas win the cup, Vegas got bounced, and everything else has just been in shambles.
Oh, that was so brutal.
Florida
with
revenge
Edmonton,
tour as well. You're trying to hopefully not have what happened to them last year against Vegas.
Yeah, I predicted a repeat.
So it'll be.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
What is it now? A Florida team has been in the Stanley Cup final for the past 5 years?
Tampa, Florida.
Crazy. There's not even snow down there.
Do you also see that? You see that Matthew Tkachuk quote? "Told you we'd be back."
Told you we'd be back. I'm pretty stoked for Tkachuk. I'm pretty stoked for Tkachuk.
Yeah, a bunch of people on Hockey Reddit are like, well, this is the Flames fans' worst final. Not really.
Not really. I'm stoked either way.
Tkachuk was entirely cordial leaving Calgary.
No.
I'm not overly mad at him. If it was Columbus, Edmonton,
be very
then I might be a little more mad.
I would be super Edmonton trained if it was Columbus, Edmonton.
That's a very weird thing to picture is Columbus in the Stanley Cup final.
I know it's weird.
Never, ever. No.
I don't know what the furthest they've gone is, but I'll look that up later. I wanted to.
They're known for sweeping Tampa.
I wanted to bring up the idea of it being an upset between Florida and New York. So in the regular season, New York finished with 114 points. Florida had 110.
President's Trophy curse?
President's Trophy curse.
President's Trophy curse.
I just don't see. I get that the Rangers were 4 points up on the Panthers in the league, but I don't see it being an upset.
I would agree. I don't think it was an upset. I think it's more I'm upset.
Yeah, I'm also upset.
Because I had the Rangers winning the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm also upset because I had the Rangers in the Stanley Cup final, and now my final is
Your
just
final's broken.
now my final is just completely shattered, as opposed to being half shattered.
Mine is half shattered.
Yeah, I would
We
agree.
went over this, but now I'm leading the bracket challenge. So
Alex hasn't checked in weeks.
Alex
you're
hasn't
still
checked since
beating
Game
Casey.
7, and Alex hasn't checked since Game 7 in Dallas against Vegas.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
That's I deleted that from my Chrome history. Getting into specifics of the Cup final, do we want to start with a neat little Perry fact?
yeah.
So Corey Perry has become the first person in NHL history to reach a Stanley Cup final with 5 different teams.
That's pretty
This is
crazy.
his 5th appearance, and in his previous 4, he's won in 3. He won in his first appearance with Anaheim.
In 2006, I believe.
That's so long
Was it 6 or 7?
No, 6 was Carolina over Edmonton, so that must
Right.
have been 7.
It must have been 7. Yeah, because 2008 was Detroit.
That's
And then
so
2009
long
was
ago.
Pittsburgh
Yeah.
beating Detroit, I think.
Yeah.
And then he went on to Montreal was first.
Yeah.
And then he lost in the finals to Tampa. He went to Dallas, lost in the finals to Tampa.
Then he joined Tampa,
Went to Tampa, lost in the finals to Colorado.
so he's unlucky. Is what I can gain from this.
And then, this is his 5th one.
That's pretty sweet. That's a cool little thing. I mean,
I wonder who tracks that. Like
The same people who tracked that.
How
This
do
is
you
the first
stumble
Stanley
onto that?
Cup with Evan.
I love that.
That
is my favorite fact.
This has been the weirdest
So-
facts or history or stats.
It's
thing.
just so weird to think that in the entire history of the Stanley Cup, no person named Evan has ever been a part of any of those teams.
And now we're guaranteed one.
Now we're guaranteed
So just
one.
for
Like,
some-
how many Evans do you know in your life? I know quite a few Evans.
I know quite a few,
I
but
feel like Evan's a pretty popular name.
but it's not really an old name though.
I think we
Oh,
should,
yeah, I
just
guess
for some,
that's true,
just for
but
some
still.
context, this is the first Stanley Cup Finals in NHL history where the first name Evan is going to win the Stanley Cup.
It will be etched onto the Stanley
because
Cup.
Edmonton has Evan Bouchard, and Florida Panthers have Evan Rodriguez.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's such a funny stat.
Do you guys see that another weird stat is the furthest distance between 2 teams?
Yeah.
That is another crazy stat as well.
That's I
mean, it makes a lot of
interesting
sense.
to think
Florida's
about
pretty
though.
far
Well,
away.
it makes sense, but it's also like, why would I ever?
Are they adapting the schedule?
Hey, that's neat.
No.
No.
They just have the 2-day off travel day.
Yeah.
Is that how it is all the time? 2
Yeah.
days off? No, usually it's just 1 day off.
Well-
Typically, it's 1 day between games and then 2 days between.
So
Cities.
you travel one day and then another practice day.
Oh,
or
maybe
maintenance.
crazy then. Where do we go from there? Goaltending?
Yeah. So
These guys are so close
I
together.
asked the guys leading up to this what they think a key difference would be between these 2 teams. Merrick said grit, which we'll get to. Phil jokingly said Darnell Nurse, which I took to mean defense, which we'll get to as well. But let's start with goaltending. Aiden, if you want to share my screen. I took a few minutes yesterday and
Woo!
That is
Oh.
such a sweet.
also shout out Johnner for doing traces of Stuart Skinner and Sergei Bobrovsky. Those look mint.
Those do look amazing.
These guys
but-
are like relatively the same.
Through the season, it's been really, really, really similar.
These
Skinner-
numbers are nuts.
Only 1 percentage point difference in Bobrovsky's favor for save percentage. Goals against takes a bit of a hit in Bobrovsky's favor as well, leading that by quick maths 0.25, sorry.
Goals against.
Yeah, goals against, leading it by 0.25, yeah. When we get to the playoffs, it's about the same. This is a story of 2 goalies that have, across the season, played pretty well similar, with a slight edge towards Bobrovsky, and same with the playoffs here as well.
Yeah.
I understand that, comparing an 800 save percentage to a 900 save percentage seems a bit weird, but it's an 897 to a 908.
Yeah, that's pretty close
That is
together.
That's a 1.1 percentage difference.
It's the difference between like 2 to 3 shots.
Exactly. So it.
I think it's
To our TikTok viewers, we're giving Skinner praise. We are not dissing him. We are comparing him and saying that he's a decent goalie in these finals.
I think it's kind of fun that these finals aren't going to be a battle of the two most legendary goalies.
It's going to come down.
playoffs.
It's going to come down to goal scoring.
Which I think is going to make for a bit more of an exciting. Obviously, making crazy saves is going to be is exciting.
But Russ
as
gets
well.
the save of the playoffs
Yeah, absolutely.
from round 1 against Tampa.
Tampa.
Oh, that was such a good save.
Absolutely, but I think having it being goal scoring being the center of attention rather than just like blacking out like 1-0 games. I think
Yeah.
that's going to make it way more exciting.
Yep.
And when you have the people that these guys have on their teams, it's not going to be 1-0 games.
No, it's absolutely not.
These are going to be high scoring affairs, I think.
You think Edmonton has a little bit more pressure on them now with the weight of Canada in a way?
Absolutely. I mean, that's another thing we can talk about.
I don't think that gets to them.
Oh no, I don't think it gets to them.
There's no way that's probably the 10th or even 20th thing in their mind right now.
True.
Yeah,
'Cause
I don't know. There's a lot of debate going on it on if they're Canada's team because
It's not.
I see it on TikTok all the time.
I mean,
It's like,
technically they are, but I don't recognize them as that.
yeah, fair.
Largely
enough.
due to where I live.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, we're in Calgary. We're Calgary Flames fans. I think we differ on opinions
Hey,
on this.
speak
I
for
would love
yourself.
to see Oilers win it. I would love to see the Oilers win it. But I thought this was funny. They went to like the Ice District up in Edmonton. They asked them. They were like, if the Flames are in the finals, are you cheering for the Flames? And everyone was like, no. And I'm like,
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
no.
Everyone became Montreal fans when they were in the finals, including me.
Oh yeah,
100%.
I knew they weren't gonna. I knew they weren't gonna.
I like all Canadian teams basically just except Toronto. That's about it. Just not a big Toronto guy.
Yeah, Toronto or Edmonton. If that was ever a Stanley Cup final, I'm just not gonna be on my phone.
I'd do Edmonton all day if it was
but-
an Edmonton-Toronto final. Easily.
That would be crazy.
I would have to break down player by player.
I think Furco would stop watching hockey if it was an Edmonton Toronto.
Yeah, 100%.
I would find another hobby for a couple weeks.
He would take up
Oh,
crochet.
Basketball. These NBA playoffs. Let's just
Baseball is kind of exciting.
I get back into cooking, but a couple weeks ago.
Oh, the Bake-Off's on this.
Oh boy,
Oh.
Chopped!
Master Chef's on too.
Oh goodness, Hell's Kitchen.
The Real Housewives of Miami.
But a couple weeks ago, I mentioned this on the show before that the bulk of my dad's side of the family lives up in Edmonton, Red Deer area,
Yeah.
so they're big Oilers fans.
Big Oilers fans.
And we have this reunion every year. And I think last week I confirmed that, yep, I'm coming up on Saturday and I'm gonna go golfing with you guys. And if God forbid Edmonton wins this series, I gotta not show up.
Maybe the golf club will be golfed at
You should make
somebody.
a bet. You should make a bet with one of the Oilers fans. Be like, if they win the cup, you'll wear an Oilers jersey.
He wears
golfing.
anything.
If they don't.
I
win
mean,
the
if they
cup,
supply it, I don't have one.
if
I
they
mean,
don't
he
win
has
the
a-
cup, you get to wear a Flames jersey.
He's wearing a
golfing.
Penguins jersey. He's a Flyers fan. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, I wore a Penguins jersey once.
once.
he's the Flyers fan.
It's the one
Yeah.
time for the jersey.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll look into it, but
We'll look into it.
yeah, it's gonna come down to scoring.
We'll get him a signed McDavid jersey for his wedding. Just for you, Alex.
I would rather not.
I was gonna sell the next day. Hey, where's your jersey? Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Don't
It's
check
fine.
eBay, please.
If we can focus on, if we're actually taking a bit of a different look, because it was pointed out the goalies that they have faced, Edmonton and Florida respectively, on the way to the finals.
Very different.
So I talked about this a little bit with Clayton on Sunday, where Florida has faced Vasilevsky.
Shout out Armchair Athletes, by the way.
Shout out Armchair Athletes, Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yeah.
Vasilevsky.
Who had a kind of lower end season than he's typically used to because he's coming off of back surgery, I believe.
Yep.
Then they went on to Boston, faced Swayman
Arguably the
Elmark.
second best goal in the playoffs.
Yep. And then went on to New York,
Who
Shesterkin.
probably the best goal in the
which
playoffs.
if
Yeah.
I can argue, you're facing a tired Shesterkin.
Yeah.
I'm tired of his team.
Tired of his team, tired of facing 30, 40 shots.
Mika Zibanejad. I don't even think Mika Zibanejad registered a point in that series.
Yeah, that was
Like,
brutal.
I would
And
have to do
he-
some research, but that sounds right.
And I think this Shesterkin was just, I don't like him. He's just not, as a Penguins fan, not my favorite player.
Yep.
It's Lundqvist all over again.
Yeah.
He's getting no help. He's just
You're getting no help in
he's
front of him.
doing everything possible, and he's just getting left to dry.
Did you guys watch that deciding Florida Rangers game?
No, I didn't.
I was at work.
Okay. There's a goal. I think it was a 2-1 game. I think it was the first one. Trouba just decides to not defend.
I did see that where Bennett just unloads an absolute bomb, right?
Well,
That
it wasn't even that. It was
Bennett, hey, give credit to Bennett. That was a
I'm
really
more
good
saying
shot.
I'm more analyzing Trouba's fault of he takes a guy who doesn't even have the puck. He just opts to not play.
And give an NHL player a lot of room. And no matter if you're a fourth liner or anyone, if you have time and space, you're gonna score.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You've made the NHL.
Adam
You
Klapka.
are going to snipe it if you have a chance.
Clapper.
Yeah. But let's get into.
I'm calling
Correct.
it Conn Smythe Trophy. Connor Brown. Thank you. Connor Brown's gonna win it. That's the true legend for Edmonton. They're not winning it for McDavid. You're winning it for Connor Brown.
Yeah, I agree. You're winning it for
Yeah.
Carter McInnes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Carter McInnes.
You're winning. Yeah. Oilers fan Carter McInnes.
He's
We
gonna be on
have
the
to get
show.
him on the show.
Yeah, if the Oilers win, we'll see if we can get Carter on the show.
If the Oilers win, I'm bringing up the third episode we've ever done where I predicted Edmonton would win the cup.
Did you do that? You said Edmonton was winning the cup.
I said Edmonton and Carolina would be the final, that Edmonton would go over.
You need to start putting
Did you
money
really
on
say
these
that?
kind of.
If you had bet that, like when you said that,
If you bet Edmonton when they
you'd
were
be,
2-9, like the worst team in the league, you would be laughing right now.
like if you put $100 on there, they'd probably be giving you like $1,000 to cash out.
No. Oh, cash out?
To cash
yeah,
out.
payout would probably be 20 grand if you did it when they were the worst team in the league.
It's on there. Season 1, episode 3, Arizona.
Yeah, but we're
Hey,
saying
check it out.
you should
I'm not a gambler though.
profit.
I'm
Okay, so we gotta start gambling.
So I need to listen to you.
I'm
We gotta start
Scared.
gambling.
yeah,
on what
I gotta
Alex
listen to
does.
you.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared
That's
for that.
fair.
You can gamble responsibly.
Yeah, gamble responsibly.
Give responsibly, of course.
This is not gambling advice, for the record.
Yeah,
This is just saying,
it's just hypothetical.
if Alex had done it,
if I had put $2 on it when I said it,
you'd be winning. A
I
decent
would
amount of
be
money
up
right
money.
He would be a big Oilers fan.
now. Yeah,
I
then you'd be
really-
a
I
big
really
Oilers fan.
wouldn't.
It's like they say that all the time. It's like the heartbreak insurance, where you bet on the team that's playing against your team, so that
It's a
if-
win-win.
So that if your team wins, you're happy because your team won, and if your team loses, you're happy because your bet hit.
True.
Gamble
So-
responsibly,
Of course. And it must be 18, obviously.
or 19,
Or 19, depending on the
or
province.
21, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the battle between Connor McDavid and Bobrovsky, I think, is going to be one to watch because, like we kind of just said, Edmonton's goaltender pathway to the Stanley Cup has been
Lighter.
significantly, I would say quite a bit lighter.
Now, remember what I told you to.
Because first round was Talbot.
Yeah,
Second round was
No, think about what I told you that one day.
that one day.
She loves.
She loves.
I know. I was about to
and
say
then,
she
and
loves.
then Audie.
Yeah.
So compare that to
The car?
Shesterkin,
Swayman.
Swayman.
Allmark, and
I don't know if they played Olmark.
Vasilevsky.
Vasilevsky.
I don't
That's the
think.
one.
I think Olmark only played one game in the.
Fair
playoffs
enough, but that's
against
a little bit
Toronto.
different. So I think like
It's a bit of a
Florida's
different
going
test.
to enjoy it.
It's a bit of a different test.
I think Florida's going
It's
to
nice
enjoy
also
it.
like going into it when there's not like a goalie duel. Like it brings a different kind of perspective into this.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said that.
You did.
Just in
You did say that.
that.
Same
We're on
wavelength.
the same port. Port?
We're on the same port.
Something like that.
Our boats are next to each other.
I did want to shift to Merrick said grit.
Yes.
So yeah, what I meant by that was, when watching like the Rangers series in Florida, for example, like there was obviously a lot of scuffles, and one of your star players is a fighter in Kachuk.
yeah.
Edmonton's just not that team, and I feel like they're not, obviously you have Perry who's good at being a nuisance and stuff like that, but you just don't have like that kind of battle toughness. You don't get into a lot of scrums as much as Florida did. So I don't know if Edmonton's gonna have like a plan for that, or if they're going to bring up or have somebody who's going to try to be a designated fighter.
I mean, you've got Evander Kane.
It's not a designated fighter. Corey Perry's a bigger fighter than.
But
And
when you have that 1-2, like
Perry also hasn't played every game. He's been
true.
scratched a couple of times.
I want Sam Gagner in the playoffs.
Why?
I just love Sam Gagner. He should get his name on the cup because I think he played enough games. Not sure.
In slight research for your grit point, I looked up hits leaders. In the top 10, Florida have 2 and Oilers have 2. In the top 25, Oilers only have 2.
And how many did Florida have?
1, 2, 3,
Oh, no.
4, 5,
Oh, no.
6,
oh no.
7, 8.
Whoa.
So Edmonton's gonna get lit up.
Edmonton might get pounded
Now to play-
into the concrete.
But playing devil's advocate, you don't want to be Florida and take penalties against this power play. Because if this power play gets going, you are in a lot of trouble if you are Florida.
Well, I actually did look up that as well. Penalty minutes leaders.
I want to say it's going to be like Florida or someone on the Rangers.
In the top 10, Florida has 2, Edmonton has 1.
Perry or Kane?
Kane. Kane leads the playoffs.
In
Penalties.
Minutes
Penalty
and hits, respectively. Or like, he leads. Kane leads He leads the hits in playoffs among active teams.
So between Florida and Edmonton.
Yeah. Dakota Joshua has 74 hits. Vancouver. Vincent Trocheck has 64 hits. New York. Evander Kane has 62 hits.
That's a lot of hits.
Dakota Joshua hitting a lot.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising.
Smack.
Yeah, but Evander Kane with 35 penalty minutes, averaging about 2 minutes a game. And then you have Nick Cousins and Nico Mikkola from the Panthers in the top 10 with 6 and 7 respectively.
You telling me the guy with the most punchable face in the NHL could win the cup?
Nick Cousins? No way. 1.8 penalty minutes respectively, and Nico Mikkola with 1.2 minutes. Wow, Nick Cousins did not get into all the games. He only played 11.
If you play one game in the playoffs, though, you get your name on the cup.
Really? Even just one?
Yeah, remember when?
Even if you're a
put me-
backup goalie.
Put me in, coach.
So that's why
I could do
Stamkos
that.
in the first Stanley Cup they won, he was hurt, went on for a shift he went on for 8 minutes, scored ironically
I thought it was 4.
or something like that. He scored,
Yeah.
but then didn't play, but he still got his name on the cup.
I could do that.
And if you don't play in the playoffs, you have to play 41 regular season games to have your name on the cup.
I don't think I could do that. I
Even
can play
ba-
one playoff game.
So
I could
if
survive.
Edmonton were to win, Campbell wouldn't have his name on the cup.
if you sit up as a backup goalie,
Yeah.
like
That's what I'm saying.
Curtis McElhinney is a 2-time Stanley Cup champion because he suited up for.
Same with Hasek.
Yeah, but okay, you're comparing Curtis McElhinney to Dominic Hasek.
Yeah, but Dominic Hasek won it with Detroit. He didn't win it with Buffalo, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's not the same.
I'm just using your backup.
Yeah, but I mean Curtis McElhinney is a bit more laughable.
A little
I
bit.
could be a backup. I can do it. As long as they don't need me to play.
Does Martin Jones have a cup?
No.
Because who backed up? Who backed up for the Kings in 2012? It might have been Martin Jones.
It was actually me.
Yeah, Phil Tremblay.
Yeah, Phil
just Loki just has a LA Kings Stanley Cup ring in his dresser.
Yeah, I don't wear it. It's too big.
It's too big.
It's too flashy. I'd
Yeah,
get too much
you know what?
attention.
Yeah, you don't want to show off too much.
Yeah. Those rings are huge.
Those rings are massive.
Even like the CFL ring. Like I got to wear a CFL ring.
When you were at the Grey Cup.
The night I was the night I was partying with the Grey Cup. I got to wear. He let me put on one of his rings. It's heavy. It's heavy.
It's heavy.
Do we want to? I think that's about half an hour on that one. Do we want to wrap it up? The
With predictions?
Florida Edmonton with some predictions. Barrett?
Yes.
I don't actually know. I just know it's going to 6 or 7.
Yeah.
It's also nice because you have a team that wins it for Canada or a team that's never won the Stanley Cup in their franchise history.
Yeah.
John said Edmonton in 5.
No.
I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say it is going to be Florida because I can't bring myself to say Edmonton again. I'm going to say Florida, and it is going to be in 7 because Game 7 was on my birthday.
Yippee!
And then we're going out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
We'll go out to somewhere to watch the game for that.
I think it's
I
Jonathan
don't want
Bernier.
to say anything because everything I said in the Eastern Conference Final was wrong. Everything I said in the Western Conference Final was wrong. I thought Dallas was going to spank Edmonton, and then Edmonton wins 4-2, and so my gut tells me Florida's going to spank Edmonton.
Jonathan
again.
Bernier for the 2012 Kings was the backup for Jonathan Quick.
Also, Stamkos had 247 in ice time.
And he scored.
He scored.
And then he won the next year, so
Nice.
you don't have to feel bad.
Jonathan Bernier, what a name.
But yeah, I don't know because my gut tells me Edmonton's going to get smoked. But that's what my gut told me on the Western Conference Final. So maybe my gut's just.
Your gut was
I
right.
must have gut problems.
Your gut was right the first 2 rounds with most of the teams.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm winning the bracket challenge.
One. You're the only. No one's got.
Yeah.
I had Dallas.
You have won it.
I have Dallas Rangers final.
Let's
At least I didn't have Vegas winning the
go.
final.
It's funny, my girlfriend's in second, so. But yeah, just for the sake of my wallet, I'm going to say Florida in 7 because that means I get 7 really busy nights of work at the bar. I get to make a lot of money. Yeah, bar owners in Calgary rejoice. Or in Alberta in general. It's crazy how many Edmonton fans are here in Calgary.
I don't think it's crazy.
I've worked a bunch of the games, and we've gotten smoked. Like so busy all at once, it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I get to ring the air horn,
I get to ring the hero.
and I live for that thing. It feels so powerful.
So do you guys want to move on?
I'm ready to move on.
So
That's my predictions. Florida in 7.
Alex, you made your predictions?
Florida
he
at
said,
7.
He said Florida 7 too.
I just said 6. I thought you said
You said
Edmonton.
Edmonton at 5-8.
Aiden's changed his mind.
You know what? I'm happy either way because we get Kachuk and Bennett getting the cup, or Canada gets the cup back.
No. I don't want that.
That's a good prediction, Aiden. Evan is going to win a cup.
Evan is going to win a cup.
I love
So
that stat
going
so
into
much.
our next topic is a bit of a sad one.
Bit of a sad one. Moving off of the Edmonton-Dallas series, Joe Pavelski.
There's been rumored.
Trigger warning for Casey, who is listening. Casey, we're
rumored
going to
or
talk about Joe Pavelski. You might want to turn off your CMRU feed for the
So
next couple minutes here.
it's either
Have your
rumored
tissues.
or expected that Joe Pavelski is to retire.
Well,
after the
he
season.
said he was done.
Yeah.
He said, I don't quite fully understand what he said because he said he's not sure if he's retiring, but he says he's done. Isn't that the same thing? The 2003 205th overall pick, Joe Pavelski. Yeah, legend.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the quote right now.
201 games played in the playoffs, 143 points.
1,332 regular season games
Unfortunately, no Stanley Cup for
So
played. No
Mr.
cup
Joe.
for
I think his
Joe.
closest was in 2016 with the San Jose
the
Sharks.
Sharks.
Cup
Yeah,
of Joe.
the Penguins screwed over Joe Pavelski, Joe Thornton, Patrick Marleau,
Burns.
Bert Burns.
Do you think if
Just,
you were
just a
named,
full team of Sharks that just got screwed over just because Crosby wanted to win again.
Maybe won the next year.
Yeah.
if your name was Joe, would you get a coffee cup that said Joe's Joe?
Nah.
I would.
Would you say it's a cup of me?
I was just thinking that. I was wondering.
You guys-
I wonder if Joe
I need a-
Pavelski has a coffee.
I need
cup
you
like
can't
that.
you can't talk to me without my me.
I'm just looking at a picture of him, and he looks like the kind of guy that would have a coffee cup that
A
says
Joe.
Joe's Cup of Joe.
So I think the main question was
If I can say the quote from Pavelski, I don't want to say this is official, but the plan is not to be coming back. There'll be more to come on that. So he's not decided, but I imagine the talk he had with his family before the season was,
it's leaning
this is it.
towards retirement. So our question is basically, do we think he is a Hall of Famer?
No, he doesn't have the awards to back it up.
Cue the Casey losing it.
Yeah. Casey's about to say, what do you mean?
We said we weren't going to do that.
He does have
but
1,000
that might
points,
be worth
though.
it.
But you need something else.
1,068 points in regular season, and then 143 career playoff points.
What accolades does he have?
I'm tempted
He's
to
got
say
a cup
none.
of Joe. He might not have a Stanley Cup, but he's got a cup of Joe.
I'm tempted to say none because I don't think he was ever Art Ross. He didn't win the Calder. I don't think he was ever the Hart, and much less the Ted Lindsay. Obviously not the Vezina.
Nicknamed Little Joe.
Silver medal at the 2010
He's
Olympics.
an American.
Captain of Team USA
Yep.
at the World Cup. That's about it.
Well, he's NHL All-Star 2016, 2017, 2019, and 2022. I don't know. It's iffy, I would say.
I think he's borderline. I'd say.
I don't think he's a first ballot, but
Okay, well,
What is the NAHL?
I imagine North American Hockey League. If I had to take a stab at it.
He's co-owner of an NAHL team.
Is Ray Whitney a Hall of Famer?
Who?
Is
does Ray Whitney have
jeez.
1,000 points though?
yes, he does.
I'm sure that's what he Googled.
That's precisely what I googled.
Players
Fair
with
enough.
1,000
He has 1,064.
That's just as
who
much
else
as,
might not be a Hall of Famer on this list?
So just to kind of wrap
Me.
up this segment, is I had a question I found off of, I think it was either Twitter or TikTok. So if you have a few, you can name a few. Or who are some retired players that you either like that you just missed or just miss watching?
Iggy.
Do you have any more? Or
just Iggy.
Yeah, just Iggy. So is it I miss watching, or I wish I was alive earlier to watch them more?
both?
I would have loved to have watched Roman Czechmatic a bit more, especially with the way the NHL was scheduled in my early years. Philly just never came to town. So that would have been a cool watch just because he was a really, really good goalie. Iggy. Yeah. End of list, really.
Fair enough. I'm going to say Kiprusoff as well. Sticking on the Flames bandwagon.
I watched him enough, but yeah, he was.
And I'm going to say Minnesota North Stars legend, Fred Barrett. Mostly because he's my great uncle. And
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Shout out Phil's great uncle.
Shout out
Yeah.
Fred Barrett.
Shout out Fred.
So I have three. And,
Oh, we should get him to. I'm sure he would.
What?
Do a call-in interview. I'm sure he would. That'd be pretty cool.
From here, possibly? I don't know if we have a tie line here.
We could do the.
Oh, there's Google Meet, right?
Just
Stupid.
Google Meet.
He said call, and I'm like, why would he be on
Yeah,
the
but I
phone?
think that would be kind of cool.
So
He could talk hockey.
I have three
forever.
players. I miss Pecorine. I really liked watching him play.
Really good goalie.
Really, very, very good.
Another
goalie.
one that's sad they didn't get a cup. Thank you, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, well, you can only do so much.
Keep going.
Pascal Dupuis from the Penguins.
Who hit him?
So he was forced to retire due to blood clots. So that was really sad. And Chris Kudins. That's just some great memories from him. I think. Obviously
Like the downfall of Ottawa.
Yeah, which I'm doing more research in, as well as in 2014, the gold medal game, he scored a goal that you could hear just ding, bar down. It was a nice goal. He was just a fantastic player.
I just want to say the lighting on Merrick right there looks really good. That shot looks awesome. Good job, Aiden.
I asked you this months ago. Do you remember who hit Pascal Dupuis
I don't.
to ruin his knee, which then made him stop playing?
I don't remember.
Was it me?
Is it a flyer?
It is
I
not
do
a
that?
flyer. Of Pensburg.com. I hate that already.
That's awful.
I love Pennsbury. I love that website.
Dupuis was knocked out on December 3rd when Ottawa's Mark Methot threw a hip check on Sidney Crosby, and Crosby slid over and took out Dupuis from his knee down.
How dare he?
Well, Crosby also took a bit off of Methot's finger, so
That was also really gross.
it was.
That happened to a Hyman player this season.
Let's not get
I don't know
into
if I
that
can
because
talk
that's
about
Probably not.
Well, can't
Fun
blame him.
fact. I knew Dupuis was hit by someone
tell you
and they
that
ruined
after
his
the-
knee.
I do think he won a cup, which is good.
Dupuis?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there with the 09 team.
Dupuis.
And your other Penguin, after Dupuis?
Kudins. Chris
Ah.
Kudins. I just have a lot of memories of growing up. When it wasn't obviously Malkin, Crosby, or Letang, it was Kudins, and then it became Gensel, and then that hurt.
Alrighty. And moving from Merrick's question, we can go to Aiden has a hockey question.
have to make
If
an
he's
intro
ready
for
to
that.
go. Aiden's doing his own
He's doing his own
intro. In
intro.
our
No one
ears.
else can hear it but
No
we
one
can.
else can hear it
And
but we can.
It really needs work.
I think that's
you can tell he made it up on the spot.
I
Do we
think it's
have the meat ready to
copyrighted.
go so we can?
Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm here. So let's talk for a little bit. How are you guys doing?
I don't think we don't have you up yet.
Yeah, you're not really sharing your screen there, big shooter.
No, not yet.
He's working
I'm a
on it.
voice. I'm a voice in your head. And now,
That's scary.
You can hear
Get
the
out of my
echo, and I hate this even more.
There
I'm
he
on the
is.
screen. There we go.
Oh, God. What's your question, Aiden?
My question for you guys. Next year, there's 3 new hockey teams in the NHL. This is hypothetical. Where are they? Whether Canada, the States, what city, and what's their name?
Okay.
I don't know
Sorry,
if
so
I don't know if I was
there's
able to
3 new-
tell.
Yeah. So pretty hypothetical. The NHL is expanding 3 more teams.
Oh,
I like how
boy.
the IPs really helped here.
I already know. I already know an answer.
Purely hypothetical. The NHL expands 3 more teams next year.
I'm going last.
I know where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Should
do.
you go first?
No, I'm going last.
It'll add to the compilation that I'm going to do in the off season.
Cleveland.
Okay, Aiden. 1 each, or do we collectively agree on 3?
3 each.
Or is it 3 each?
Let's do. We have 10 minutes for the segment. Let's do 3 each.
Let's do 3 each. Okay.
Cleveland.
Okay.
Halifax.
You want another one in Ohio?
Ohio.
Who's the other team in Ohio?
Columbus.
Columbus.
Oh, okay. Let me hold on to that. I don't know my my geography very well.
Okay. Halifax.
Oh, we have to pick names?
Okay, okay. Yeah, it's team
That's
names.
true.
So right away, the locations would be Halifax. It would be.
I don't mind a Montana team.
Let's go Houston. Let's go Houston.
Yeah, let's go Houston.
Nice little in-state rivalry between Houston and Dallas there. And the third will be another Canadian team coming out of Saskatchewan.
Ooh.
As far as team names, let's go with.
I really
It
hope.
is so good that no one can hear you.
That was
I
good,
hate
though.
you so much.
That was good.
Halifax it's got to be something from the area. So I'll let you guys go with your cities first, and I'll do some quick research and see what would work.
I think Montana would be cool. It'd be just right under Edmonton, and
Yeah,
and
right
Calgary,
under Edmonton.
and Calgary. North Dakota.
What city in Montana would you put it in?
I don't know. Just
Like
Montana.
there's
Whitefish, maybe?
Montana.
there's not a big enough city.
Yeah,
there's not a big enough city. I love the idea. I don't think there's a big enough city in Montana. for that.
He said Saskatchewan.
Regina's pretty well back from the Pats.
I guess.
Oh, so you could put in Speedy Creek because I think they have more population.
Okay, so I would go Montana. I would go. I think you go Alabama. They have a big football presence, so I wouldn't be surprised if some
I don't
people
think
like
you'd be able to compete in Alabama, honestly.
and Halifax as well.
Cool. Well, I think
or Kelowna. You could have a instead of you can have the Battle of BC.
a team in the South is so tough because obviously they love their football so much.
Maybe a little
it'd be
too much.
pretty tough to
Some days.
Roll
Tide.
Yeah, roll tide. It'd be pretty tough to compete down there. Although I think, okay, my turn then. Let's do. I think we all agree on Halifax, and there's already the name Halifax Highlanders, obviously.
No.
From
No.
Goon.
I have an animal that I would like to name it.
I've got an animal for my third one, but my second would probably be. I think I would go Atlanta. Either
Again?
Atlanta or Houston.
Would you keep the Thrashers for Atlanta?
You'd have to. You have to.
And then, of course,
Okay. Oh, I missed.
Here's
I'm
the
changing my
drum roll.
Montana answer to Quebec.
Quebec City. That's good.
No.
I want
So-
the Nordiques.
I know, but no.
Actually, just to keep with the Triple H theme, I'm going to go Halifax, Houston, Honolulu.
Yeah.
Is anyone surprised by the Honolulu pick?
Honolulu.
If you are, you haven't watched the show long enough.
Honolulu.
For
There's no ice in Florida either, Aiden.
or LA.
Or
for-
Vegas.
So for the teams, I go Halifax. Like I don't really have a name, but like
I
you
would-
said, something that's like
I would like to switch Houston to Atlanta.
I have a question.
so.
Sure.
Because
How
I
was
think we
it?
have to. Okay, you go. Sorry, go.
Can you up to well Quebec Nordiques, and then with I go Alabama Tide. Roll Tide.
Alabama
You
Tide.
just got to keep the theme.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
The team for my Halifax team would be the Halifax Lynx.
Ooh, I like that. I would go Highlanders. Then I would go Houston. I don't know.
Halifax Link, Atlanta Thrashers, keep the name. And for Saskatchewan, let's go with the River Dogs. The Saskatchewan River Dogs.
No.
No, I don't like that name, Aiden.
The Halifax, McKinnon, Marchand, Crosby's.
I would go, just because I love the movie, I would go Halifax Highlanders.
Yep.
And then
Reference to Goon.
for Houston, I think I would go
And also Goon too.
the Houston like astronauts or something.
Kind of same thing with the Astros.
Yeah, because
We have the Houston
Houston's a big
Texans.
NASA. Like that's the main base for NASA.
Oh,
So,
I know why.
I
understand. I understand. Like Houston Rockets, Houston Astros. I get it.
Yeah, the
I actually went
Houston
there.
problems. Houston, we have a problem. And then Honolulu, I would go the Honolulu Humanimu.
Yes.
Of course.
I actually went to that Houston NASA thing. It's actually pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Houston, we have
I'm
a
also.
problem. I was born.
I'm a big space fan.
You had a question,
that. Oh, what was my question?
buddy.
Oh no.
I told you to hold on to the thoughts. I can finish my sentence.
Oh no.
Oh, I remember the question.
Okay.
Mexico City.
No.
No?
No.
Straight out no?
No.
You don't think it would work?
No.
Yes.
Blackhawks.
Okay, so that
I'm really
so if you don't
glad-
think Mexico City would work, do you think ever it'd be possible if they were going to expand to another country? Because I'm just thinking proximity-wise, Mexico makes the most sense. Do it in Mexico. I guess Mexico City is pretty far. Would it be
I know it's the same.
Cuba then instead?
I know it's the same country, but you could go Alaska too if you want to go up.
I guess that. Yeah.
The Alaska
I
polar bears.
I think Alaska would work better than Honolulu.
I think you expand to Europe before you touch Mexico.
Really?
Finland,
Just from a proximity
Sweden,
perspective.
But popularity though.
The Finland, Sweden. I was gonna say Russia, but
No.
obviously
not
not.
gonna happen.
Not currently.
Because Mexico is ranked 42 in the IHF.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's so many more countries ahead of them. New Zealand is 41st.
Kansas City. That's also another shout. I know, just because I watched the Travis Kelce, like the Kelsey's podcast, and they've played hockey, and they would love a hockey team than Kansas.
That would be cool too.
Nebraska.
No, I especially, yeah, I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to expand outside of North America, which means Mexico is not getting one unless.
Mexico is in North America.
Yeah, but they're not unless their national popularity for hockey increases drastically.
Yeah. But you never know. It could happen.
I mean, if they want to run down there and build a hockey arena first, and then build a hockey arena that seats people, not as opposed to person, and then go down there for a game like they did in Europe, like the Global Series. If they want to go down to Mexico, sure, go ahead, see what the popularity is like. I just don't see it happening anytime soon.
I think we have 15 minutes left. You guys want to head into the Memorial Cup?
I just lost my IFB just stopped working.
Okay, is it dead?
No, it's still on.
Okay.
All right,
Okay,
so
that's okay.
Well, that's all right.
we're gonna head into.
Memorial Cup.
Memorial Cup. Okay. Aiden, I can't hear you anymore, which is
Good.
cool because it means I can't hear myself, and I like that a lot more. Memorial Cup, Saginaw Spirit, congratulations. They are the first non-QMJHL team to win since 2017, which is pretty crazy. What a game. I'm not super surprised that it ended up being Saginaw versus the London Knights. Obviously, the London Knights absolutely dominated throughout most of the tournament, which is to be expected. The OHL this year and historically are just crazy. The London Knights, yeah, they played fantastic. And it ended up being a close game. It was I think Saginaw opened the scoring up pretty quickly. I think they had a 3-1 lead at one point. And then London Knights bring it back to keep it 3-3 up until 20 seconds before the end of the game, where Saginaw gets the heartbreaker in. And then the home crowd just goes crazy. It's so cool to see the home crowd win, the home team win in the Memorial Cup, because obviously the other three teams are extremely high caliber teams, right? They're teams that have won the entire game. And London and Saginaw faced off in the conference finals in the OHL playoffs, something like that. And they did not get swept. by London, unlike the guys that London faced in the finals. So pretty crazy game. I guess that's kind of what happens when you have a 1-game championship instead of a 7-game series.
Do you
see stuff like that?
Would you want to change that?
For Memorial Cup? No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think, because I think if you make the Memorial Cup 7 games or even 5 games, you don't get that TSN deal.
Or make it 3. Like don't make it 1. Is more what I'm asking. Like do you think 1 is ideal, or do you want to change it to a series?
I think 1 makes it very exciting. I like it at 1.
It's the championship after the championship.
Yeah, this is like kind of the bonus
Yeah.
round. The thing is, I think the CHL is very lucky to get pretty much any time, especially the WHL, I find, to get any time on like TSN at all. And I feel like if you made this a 7-game series or even a 5-game series, you're not getting that TSN deal because they're not going to make the time for you.
Yeah, that's true.
So having it just that 1 game that everyone's super stoked for, that TSN holds and shows. They showed every game of the Memorial Cup. It was fantastic. So, yeah, congratulations, Saginaw Spirit. They are only the 3rd American club to win the CHL championship, which I hate. Excuse me. I don't like that. I still don't like it. It's the CHL. Come on, man.
He's not going to like it today. He's not going to like it tomorrow.
And I didn't like it yesterday. But the 3rd Memorial Cup host to ever win in the last 10 years. I read that wrong. So, pretty exciting.
You want to get to the trophies?
Yeah, absolutely. We got, similar to the Stanley Cup, there's the MVP, which is the Stafford Smythe, not the Conn Smythe, won by Owen Beck from Saginaw Spirit. The goaltender award went to the London Knights, which was pretty sweet. He played a fantastic game, Michael Simpson, in that final, making quite a few saves. Saginaw were just peppering him, and with good shots too. Denton Matejchuk from Merrick's Moose Jaw Warriors won the sportsmanship trophy. Easton Cowan from the London Knights was the leading scorer, who won the Ed Chenoweth Trophy. The Ed Chenoweth Trophy is the leading scorer in the Memorial Cup. The Ed Chenoweth Cup is the trophy for the WHL Championship. Very confusing there.
Quite.
Lots of opportunity for mismatches. The All-Star team, 2 members of the London Knights, 2 members of the Saginaw Spirit, and 2 members of the Moose Jaw Warriors, including Merrick's favorite, Brendan Yeager. That's all I got. I flew through that. Holy cow.
I'm a little worried he's just not going to play for Pittsburgh. He's just going to get lost. I'm a little worried. But
You never know. I'm sure he will.
put him on the
Sure
4th
he'll
line.
play some games.
Just a quick throwback to the retired player question. My dad is furious that none of us mentioned Gretzky.
I
would've been-
wasn't alive when he was playing. Or, like,
But the question was if you could be born earlier and watch someone in their prime.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could watch Gretzky. That'd be cool too.
I don't know. I like watching players that can lift a puck.
Gretzky, Lemieux, Yeager, Curry.
Me.
Phil. I would love to watch Phil.
That'd be good. I think we got what? We got like 10 minutes left here?
Yeah, it was 10ish when he started the segment, so probably closer to about 8 now. Aiden just said.
Time for some dogs.
Yeah, so Aiden. Don't call me ma'am. Share my screen. I have a picture. Look at the good boy. So this is horrible listening for people on samary.ca by students for you, but on the screen is my dog Iggy. He is a mix, color like a German Shepherd with a bit of a white chest, and he has like ice blue eyes. He is the best boy I have ever seen. And the reason that I bring up Iggy, I'll get into a little of his background in a minute here, is also so I can bring up Tessa, who has been on Instagram with Phil.
Yeah.
You want to talk a bit about Tessa?
Absolutely. Tessa was a rescue from Mississauga, actually. So unfortunately, we think she might be a Leafs fan. But she's a rescue from Mississauga that my great-grandmother took in. My great-grandmother always loved animals. And then when my great-grandmother passed away at the age of 93, something like that, my mom had always said that we would take care of her animals. So we got to take in Tessa, who made the 4-hour flight in a little kennel. We went and picked her up, and So now we have Tessa. We have no idea how old she was for the first 4 years of her life, at least. She was a stray on the mean streets of Mississauga. And then for the next couple of years, she was taken care of by a 90-year-old woman. And then we got her. So she was in pretty rough shape when we got her. But that's what happens when you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. That's all I got.
Sure.
Yeah, she was a fantastic little dog.
Yeah. So going back to that dog, Iggy. So Iggy was dropped off at the Cochrane Humane Society on New Year's Eve of 2021 with massive cuts to his back right leg.
Ooh.
Police picked him up, dropped him off at the shelter, and the belief is that he got trapped in some barbed wire. Because there's also like a bit of a cut to his ear. So he was dropped off New Year's Eve 2021. They patched him up. Incredibly stressed, incredibly reactive dog.
Yeah.
This is around the time that Christina and I, my fiance, moved into our apartment.
Yeah.
And I worked a lot, and Christina was working part-time at the time, and she didn't want to be in the apartment alone. So she figured, let's get a dog. You know, while I had planned a trip to Vancouver in February, a month after she brought up the idea, I already bought Canucks tickets, plane tickets, booked the hotel and everything. So, you know, I'm not bitter. I'm just it's context, guys. It's context. Context matters here. So we got Iggy. She fell in love with his eyes immediately. And he's just been the best boy.
The best boy.
He's just been the best boy.
I have a dog too. It's just he wasn't a rescue.
Rescue?
Okay.
But he's still a good boy. My dog's still a good boy.
Yeah. The reason we bring up our rescues
is we have the first ever Stanley Pup coming up in a couple days here. This is going to be pretty exciting.
I think we should say that we got to say some of the names.
Yeah, we'll say some of our favorite names of these dogs, but this is pretty much basically just a fundraiser. They do this for the Super Bowl too. They have the Puppy Bowl. It's kind of a similar thing with a bunch of rescue dogs.
They're so cute.
Well, I don't know how the dogs are going to be playing hockey, but every NHL team has a dog, and they're trying to get them adopted.
Some of the dogs were named after the players.
Yeah, some of the dogs named after players.
I feel
some
like
of the best
we got to name most of them.
Ever.
Yeah,
Alex, which one's your favorite?
And if you want a 3-screen,
I also want to point out that
there is some names on there.
the King's dog is having a great time with the helmet on his head.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this little goofy guy
So
over here.
some of the names include Brady Sharpay, Anders Leash, Adam Foxhound, Nikita Kucherov, Connor McDoodle, Nathan McKibble, Quinn Shoes, Mark Bone, Connor Yellerpuck,
Joe Pavelski.
Which one's your favorite, Merrick?
I think personally my favorite is Mark Bone. I think that one's just straight and he just looks like they all look like good dogs.
On June 8th at 6 p.m. Eastern on Sportsnet, 4 p.m. our time, I'm going to be cheering on Nathan McKibble.
I'm just sad that Yosefi Barkowski over here was snubbed.
We don't have a name.
Where's the invite? Where's the invite for Yosefi Barkowski?
So
Barkowski snubbed.
All teams.
I do like Nikita Kucherov, though.
All teams do have a dog in. Just not all of them have really funny pun names. So just a few of our teams.
I know the Flames
there's
one's named Amber.
And so we have Amber. I really like the name Miss Eva. That's Ottawa Senators' dog. The Montreal Canadiens' dog name is Lacey.
I think it said Amber was already adopted as well.
Yes. So Deke, the New Jersey Devils dog, was adopted. Abigail from Seattle Kraken was adopted. Amber from the Calgary Flames was adopted.
Amber's so cute. Look at Amber.
Oh, this picture is amazing.
I think it's Inga. I don't know how you say it properly, but the St. Louis Blues dog was adopted. Zaid, the Columbus Blue Jackets dog, was adopted. San Jose Sharks dog was adopted. It's a great cause. I'm gonna root for Rebel. That's the Penguins dog. They're just, I don't care who loses or who wins. They're just all adorable.
It's going to be so fun.
They have a puppy named Baby Girl. That's Philadelphia's puppy. That is so cute.
And obviously a bunch of NHL players are going to be making appearances.
Yeah.
And
So just-
introducing a lot of the dogs.
Also, Sophie from this Buffalo Sabres. The photo of Sophie is her in a Buffalo Sabres jersey, which is really cute.
Per an article on NHL.com, Stanley Pup will feature special appearances by celebrity dog lovers, including Kristen Chenoweth, Mickey Guyton, Miranda Lambert, Heather McMahon, Lisa Vanderpump, and Trisha Yearwood. In addition, color and play-by-play commentary will be provided by Akbar Gabajbi-Amila from
no way. I
American
didn't even
Ninja
see that.
Warrior.
That's awesome.
And
Akbar
Mark
Gabajbi-Amila
Schoenach
is
from
legend.
Top Rank Boxing. Also, Alexia Landestoy of the NHL Network. NHL players involved in this. Kyle Burrows from the Sharks. Anton Forsberg from the Senators. Anze Kopitar from the Kings. Nick Suzuki from the Canadiens. Mackenzie Weegar, love him. Hottest guy in the NHL, bar none. Come at me. From the Calgary
Casey
Flames.
will.
And Trevor Van Riemsdyk and Tom Wilson from the Washington Capitals. Also, Philadelphia Flyers head coach John Tortorella will also make an appearance.
So the dogs that were made names out of puns, they have real names. Some of their names are really funny. So
They could have just gone Ember with
Ovechkin, the Capitals dog's name is Melon. The Colorado dog is named Bobber. LA's dog is named Chirp. Carolina's dog is named Selly. My personal favorite is Tampa Bay's dog is named Flamingo.
Flamingo.
Flamingo the dog.
Flamingo the dog.
The Rangers dog, the last one, the Rangers dog name is, I don't even know how you say that. Giorgio Armani. I definitely botched that.
Giorgio Armani.
And then Spinner. Latoya is Quinn Hughes' dog.
These are crazy names.
Puppies are puppies.
In any event, we should
Tippy Velvet, that is Mark Bone.
probably let everyone go.
Hey, that's really dandy.
The next time we come to you guys, it will be on Sunday, June 9th, after the first
Pup
game.
Cup.
After the Pup Cup as well, but it'll be also after the first game of the 2024 Stanley Cup Finals. Oilers are going to be in Florida. Puck drops at 8 p.m. Eastern, I want to believe.
Yeah. Once again, thank you so much to our wonderful producer, Mr. Aiden Johnner, up in the booth. All the cameras, all the lighting, all the screen stuff. Alex also made some fantastic graphics going into the show that worked out amazing. Shout out Josefi Barkowski for joining us today on the show.
Sorry on the Stanley Pup snub there.
You got
Giuseppe
snubbed, man.
Barkowski.
You got snubbed. Maybe if we gave him a coast to coast jersey, he would be in there.
Would he bark at it because it's a Jersey bird?
Yeah.
Hey.
And on that note,
See ya.
and on that note,
Enjoy game one, guys.
Goodbye.
See you guys on Sunday.
See you guys.